Welcome to selfimprovementtips.com, and I just want to personally thank you for stopping by my website. Hi, I'm Steve Scott, business coach, author, and event speaker. So, what's in this for you? What's the benefit? That's a good question. I really don't know. But self-improvement is a commitment to creating pathways to enlarge ourselves. And when we enlarge ourselves, that's when more things can come to us. So self-improvement, what is it? Well, let me start with this. If you're seeking greater peace of mind, greater income, more self-esteem, more opportunities, whatever it is you're seeking, seldom will it ever exceed your self-improvement. Isn't that interesting? So self-improvement actually is the key, because when you become more, then you attract more. When you become more, you attract more. So self-improvement is about how are you going to improve yourself today so you can have a better tomorrow. Because you know change is inevitable. We all know that. But growth is optional. And what's interesting, some people actually grow smaller over time. But the way you go on self-improvement is you're always growing bigger. So let's take a look at self-improvement. And I think a good place to start, there's a story that I enjoy. It's called The Bewildered Metal. There was a piece of metal, he was about a foot long, and he sat on a low shelf in a factory, and he'd been sitting there for about 10 years. And he was a happy little piece of metal. He was collecting dust. And one day a workman came over, picked him up and took a look at him. And he took him over to his bench, and he started twisting and turning him, pounding him, heating him up. And the metal was absolutely terrified, and he screamed out, "What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?" And the workman replied, "Right now, everything seems strange and terrifying, but someday you will thank me, because I'm turning you from an ordinary piece of metal into a beautiful telescope." That's what happens with self-improvement. Now, we don't go through all the agony and pain of the bewildered metal, but here's the point. Only when we have a willingness to go through inner change can we see the vastness beyond our present position. So how do you go about doing that? Is there a process for doing it? And the answer is yes, there is. So the first step is we have to change our thinking. Now, when you change your thinking, then you can change your habits. And when you change your habits, that changes your activity. And when you change your activity, that changes your results. And when you change your results, here's the best part, then it changes your life. And that's what we're really looking for. We want to change our lives. So, change your thinking, change your habits, change your activity, change your results. It changes your life. But what do you have to be doing all the time in order for that to happen? Good question. Most of us have had some formal education, and formal education is absolutely wonderful. But formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. When you embark on self-improvement, which is an entrepreneurial venture, what you're saying is, this is the business of my life. I'm going to create. I'm going to change. I want to become more so I can have more. Understand that success is not something to be pursued, but to be attracted by the person I have become. When you embark on that, then good things start to happen. So self-education is the vehicle for having those good things happen. Self-education will make you a fortune in terms of improved relationships. It could be improvement financially. It could be any number of things, but self-improvement is the key. So what we offer on this website is there are two levels of involvement. Level 1, the introductory level, this gives you a taste of what can go on with self-improvement. The first thing is you will receive the Progress Set free ebook. This is 20 sections that talk about things in self-improvement and gives you some tips on how to move forward. The second thing is the Imprisoned by Progress and the Treadmill Philosophy audio course. You will get the first 2 sections of that, and all this is free. But once again, this will give you an idea of some things maybe you could be doing to accelerate the process of your successful performance. And the audio mini course really is about the fact that we confuse ourselves very often. We can fake ourselves out and confuse activity with achievement. And that the foundation really for self-improvement is to have purposeful activity. So that's level 1. Now level 2 takes you under the hood, so to speak, and we start to take apart the engine that is self-improvement. And the first thing is there are 4 self-study courses, self-study guides that you can be involved in. The first one is Character Secrets of Successful Entrepreneurs. This is a 14-part self-study course. You have a short reading, you have questions, you have action steps you can take. But this gets you thinking about character. And the reason character is so important, it is the foundation of any lasting self-improvement. And people say, well, I don't know about character. I wasn't born in a good family. No. Good character is something that is developed. If you read the inspirational stories that we all have read, you know there are hundreds of thousands of people who overcame bad circumstances and developed good character. So this gives you some insights on character. The second thing is Personal Development Secrets of Successful Entrepreneurs. And really, personal development, it gives you the opportunity, as I say, to become more, but there are sections in this, and it's a 14-part guide too, that talk about things you can be doing in your personal development, because if you embrace personal development, then you will achieve self-growth. The third study guide is the 8 pieces of the business and life puzzle. Now, this one is important because too often we can get focused, particularly in this day and age, on business, and life can kind of slide by. We kind of have an either-or mentality. What we want to do is bring these two together. Instead of thinking either-or, when you're really into self-improvement, you start thinking both and. I can have both a good business and a good life. And then the fourth self-study guide, and this has 20 sections to it, is Business Keys to Success. And once again, this takes a look at various areas of self-growth, personal development, that can, once again, create the business, create the life you desire. So you have the 4 self-study guides. So what else is there along with those? There are also blog posts that you will have access to that talk to specific areas of self-improvement. Once again, we have to work our minds. It all starts with our thinking. Thinking, as we know, is the hardest work in the world, especially original thinking. So that's where we're starting. So you have some reading material to go along with what you have in the study guides. Next, you have the remaining 8 sections of the audio course, Imprisoned by Progress in the Treadmill Philosophy. And as I said earlier, this is about how we can have purposeful activity. We may be in motion and feel like we're moving forward, but are we really? And as I said earlier, it's easy to fake ourselves out and confuse activity with achievement. And we can be involved in something we think is truly important, and we can miss what truly matters. And when we miss what truly matters, that really does hurt. Then after the audio mini course, there are 2 coaching videos. And these 2 were picked for a particular reason. One is about self-improvement, and I think that pretty much speaks to itself. It gives you some more ideas about self-improvement and things you could be doing to move yourself forward. The second one has to do with fear. And fear is absolutely important. What's interesting, we're not born with courage, nor are we born with fear. But fear represents negative beliefs. And until we break through the negative beliefs our fears represent, it's hard to really have self-improvement. So I spend some time talking about fear and ways to overcome fear. Because when you do that, then you really can start creating those pathways to accelerate the process of your successful performance. And the last part of level 2, which to me is very important, I've written a book, Wings to Fly. And what is Wings to Fly? It's a daily reader where every day there's a different self-improvement topic. So January 1st through December 31st, you have something every day where you can sit down, and this takes maybe 2 minutes, and read it and absorb it and see how maybe you can get in a direction to where you're moving more on track to the self-improvement you desire. You know, we're never looking at perfection because that's not attainable for any of us, but what we're looking at is direction. And Wings to Fly will give you direction because what it is, it's your daily liftoff to take your business to where it can soar and take your life to where it can soar also to greater heights. So that's what comes in level 2. So I encourage you to sign up today and become a member, in particular of level 2, because I believe there's so many benefits there. But once again, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I know I've sat here and watched videos like this and somebody says, look, you're going to have massive results in 90 days. I can't promise you any of that. But what I can promise you is this. If you will go ahead and embrace the process of self-improvement, what is shown here on level 2 in particular, it will allow you to start creating pathways to accelerate the process of your successful performance and also take you to having the business and life you desire. Like I said, life is not a practice session. We don't get any do-overs, but we can always start over. And the miracle of self-improvement is this. It allows us to start over and to take better pathways each time. Like I said, there are hundreds of pathways up the mountain all leading to the same place. So it really doesn't matter which one you take. Here's the point. With self-improvement, you can start taking your pathway to get up the mountain to having the success, happiness, fulfillment that you desire. Once again, this is Steve Scott. I thank you for being with me, and I wish you the best on your journey of self-improvement.